Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
All right, Brendan Taylor here, True School Sports. I'm with Michael McKinson Sr. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine, thanks. Doing fine.
Yeah, nice to meet you, man. Very nice guy, very interesting guy as well. I wanted to pick your brain about, just what happened tonight with your son against Alex Marvel. How did you rate the performance?
It's very difficult because we weren't allowed to do what we wanted to do tonight. It wasn't the opponent that we've been training for these last good few months. But at the end of the day, given the circumstances, I thought Mikey done well to adjust. He's not a come-forward fighter, but he had to try and do a little bit of pushing the fight here tonight. And Alex Martin, take nothing away from him. Like what he done well. He spoiled well. He was very good at being negative, but he was good at avoiding shots. He's quite a skillful lad. You can see that he's had a lot of amateur bouts. Someone said to me he had like 350 amateur fights, and he beat Errol Spence apparently as well.
I didn't know that.
So yeah, that's what I was told. So but you can see that he knows his way around the ring. But like, I don't really listen to a lot of the stuff that you hear on social media and people trash talking and that. I like to just concentrate on what we have to do to beat him. I think at the beginning of the fight we were looking for the left hand when he goes to like lunge in with his jab. I was watching a couple of videos like in the hotel. I had 24 hours to watch it, and as he was lunging in, he was trying to chop that backhand over the top. But and it was catching him at first, but then Martin started to realise what he was doing. He was dipping down to avoid that shot. So I was trying to get Mikey to throw the left hand to the body instead. But Martin was moving in, moving out. It's quite difficult, moving about, and he was quite difficult to land on. And when Mikey did land, he tied him up very clever. So it was a clever fight. But we won the fight.
A tricky fight too, man.
Sorry?
It was a tricky fight.
It was tricky, yeah. It's tricky. The opponent was being negative and that. But like at the end of the day, listen, I've had journeyman fighters. He's not a journeyman. I'm not saying he's a journeyman, but I've had lads, and I teach people how to clinch and hold and do these little things to get through the round. So I admire what he was doing, to be truthful. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's very similar. When that fight was made, it was obviously going to be like that type of fight. The crowd was booing. I know they were, but that's not. We didn't come for that fight. We come for Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah.
It's not our fault. And at the end of the day, like when you start bringing fighters over the front foot fighters, you'll see a better Michael McKinson.
Like in the Chris Congo fight.
Chris Congo, and a lot of his fights, a lot of the fighters that he's boxed are all got decent knockout records, and they're coming out to sort of try and knock him out. And he's very good at working off people's reactions and stuff as they're trying to come forward. But unfortunately, he couldn't do that. He didn't have the opportunity to do that tonight. So, but he got the win, and that's what counts. And everybody knows who he is now.
That's the beautiful thing about it. I wanted to kind of get your perspective on this because I asked Michael about it. Yeah. He's had a difficult journey in the pros. I know he told me he didn't get paid a lot of money his first 10 fights, and he didn't have the promotional backing. Now he's here in LA. He's doing some big things in his career in the last year or so. Yeah. What's it been like being by his side for all this?
Well, it's been a roller coaster. Do you know what I mean? It's all starting to work out. I mean, where Mikey started off from, it's probably like 1 in 1,000 people, maybe even more than that can make it to the where Mikey's made it. Considering, listen, I appreciate the opportunities that he had at the very beginning. His first fight was in Belfast, and some promoter friend of mine that helped him on his way at the very beginning, and we appreciate that, and. It's been a long time. It's been a long road, and the way that Mikey is now, like he would never have got to where he is if we never had that help at the beginning, sort of thing. So it's been a roller coaster of a ride, and now it's all starting to work. And the most important thing with Mikey is very, very disciplined in his life. You won't catch him out at a bar, photographs of him getting drunk and stuff like that. He lives a very clean life, Michael does, and that's one most important thing that fighters have to do, and it's very difficult when you're a young man to do that sort of stuff.
It is. Yeah. What do you think is the biggest misconception about Michael? Because I know when the Virgil fight first got signed, a lot of people said, "Oh, well, he's this. He doesn't punch hard. He's got no chance."
Let me say something. It's called boxing, not knockout. People are too much. People are like sheep. They like to follow and say, they hear things, they start to say the same things that they've heard. But some people got to think outside the box. Mikey's not a finisher. He'll drop people, and he's dropped quite a lot of fighters in his fights, but he doesn't finish people off. He's physically strong, but it's not about trying to knock people out. A lot of people that are trying to look for the knockout all the time eventually get knocked out themselves.
They do, yeah.
And so So you've got to think outside the box. It's not called knockouts, it's called boxing. And Mikey's a boxer. Unfortunately, you didn't get to see that tonight as much, but you'll see it once he fights a positive fight that's trying to come forward, and you'll see the skills that he's got.
Okay. What do you guys think about maybe like one day like fighting a Conor Benn? Because I know like Conor Benn he's like the golden boy of British boxing for the welterweight division.
Yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, Mikey will fight anyone. He came here to fight not Conor Benn, to fight Virgil Ortiz.
That's true.
And like, you know, and he turned up. It wasn't like he injured himself and he didn't turn. He came here to fight him, and he was very upset when the fight never happened. So anyone else and any other name that you want to bring to the table, Virgil Ortiz is a 100% knockout record, and you can't argue with his record. So when you mention other names like that, that's fine. I mean, but it speaks for itself. He came in to fight Ortiz, so he'll fight anyone.
Yeah, you guys went through quite the roller coaster. I mean, 3 opponent changes 1 week. I mean,
I think there was 4 altogether.
Was it 4? Because I know it was what, Ortiz, the Ramos guy, and then was it Martin?
Tall lad as well.
There was another one in between. I missed one. But
yeah, you missed it. Yeah, because it just all happened at the same time. But I only arrived. It's like my 4th day here now.
Okay.
So just getting over the jet lag. Just finally getting over the jet lag. And Mikey's been here for a couple of weeks to sort of acclimatise and stuff like that. So, but yeah, and as I was coming, that's when the Ortiz fight was cancelled, and it was like, I'm leaving for nothing. I don't know. It's like, do I still go?
Yeah.
And
uncertainty, a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah. And like, so Mikey, I didn't want to mess about with his head, so I didn't let him know that I was actually coming. 'Cause I had problems getting my visa, and it was coming, but it wasn't coming on time. And I didn't want to say I'm coming, and then like I failed the COVID test or my car broke down. You know what I mean? So I just left it like that. But even when I was in the air, you can use the old. I haven't been on a long haul flight for years. On a long haul flight, you can use the internet now, can't you? And they're messaging me going, "We've got this. What do you think? I've got another opponent." And I'm like, "I'm at work. I can't see it." You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, so.
But it all worked out in the end.
Yeah, it all worked out. Yeah, and I sort of turned up to LA with problems. Do you know what I mean? Like
a problem for the problems team.
For the problems team, yeah. So it was just a massive headache, and but yeah, it got sorted in the end. Yeah, listen, everyone around here are all true professionals, and they managed to get an opponent, and we got in the ring, and we beat the lad. So it's time to move on. So it's brilliant.
Well, Michael, I don't want to hold you up any longer. Is there any final message you want to give to the boxing world about your son and your career and what you guys have got going on?
Just want to thank all the positive people in the USA that have appreciate Mikey and showed respect to him and stuff. And yeah, we can't wait to get back. Everyone's treated us really well here. Can't wait to come back. And hopefully his next fight will be back over here.
All right, Michael McKinson Sr., thank you for talking to True School Sports.
Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here. Boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God bless.